Hi, welcome to the first video of 2025. I'm so excited. Okay, so technically it's still 2024. It's December 29th, but this video is like, my 2024 wrap up and like preparing for 2025. And it's getting posted in 2025, so to you guys it's 2025, so hopefully the year's been good so far. I don't know, I'm still, this is past Kaylee, we're still in 2024, but I'm excited to start this video. I literally posted a video yesterday and I'm starting this one today because I want to get this out like soon after 2025 starts, because I feel like one of the things last year that I did that I wasn't like thrilled with was I would post videos like after I recorded them like a while ago. Like I think my midterms study vlog literally I think got posted like a month after midterms. So this year the goal is to be like more on top of things and like post things kind of like as I'm recording them. I'd love to get like 2 videos out a month. I would love that, but I don't know if that'll happen. But we're starting off strong with this video right now. So like I said, we're going to be wrapping up 2024 and getting ready and preparing for 2025. So basically how that's gonna look is I'm gonna just, talk through 2024 briefly. I did an update video like 2 videos ago, so I don't really need to like go super in depth with 2024. When I say wrap up, honestly, I'm talking about all the books I read in 2024. I read 70 books. Well, right now I've read 69, but it's going to be 70 when I finish the year because I'm 25% done with the book I'm currently reading and it's getting finished. So 70 books read, and just like some other little things that I want to wrap up. But ignore the pile of clothes right here. I need to fix that. I got an Octo Buddy. Sorry, I'm switching gears, but I got an Octo Buddy, so I'm able to stick my phone up on the window right now. It's just like I see the cars going by, so if I get distracted by that, I apologize. But yeah, so that's definitely going to help me, I think, because if I can stick my phone on like the window or on my mirror, I have like better like vantage points. I don't know, I wish I could stick it on the wall, but unfortunately it does not stick to my wall. I really wish it did though, because that would actually make my life so much easier when I'm filming stuff sitting at my desk, but it does not stick to the wall. But it sticks to the window really well. So yeah, talked about what we're doing to wrap up 2024, and then to like talk about 2025. I have a planner somewhere that I'm going to be writing everything from 2024, like birthdays, anything that's already scheduled for 2025. That'll go on the calendar. And then also I want to reorganize my bookshelf. That might be its own video though, but I want to reorganize it because I got a bunch of books for Christmas and they're all just kind of sitting on my bookshelf, and there's some things that just need to be rearranged, so I want to do that. And then vision board for 2025, goals, and also to finish with 2024, finish the bullet journal, just what I started in 2024. I really actually want to do it in 2025. I know I was like, I want to do it in 2024, but like I actually want to do it this year. Like I want to set aside time to journal and just, I don't know. I don't really know, but that's my intro. Also, we'll probably like clean my room and just like make sure everything's like refreshed for 2025. I'm so excited for this year. I do like odd number years, so the next time we have that is 2026, but 2025 is, we're halfway from 2000 and we're halfway to 2050, which is actually crazy. It's so weird. But at the same time, it's also like really cool. But yeah, so I'm going to stop talking, and I think what I'm going to do right now is gather a stack of books, and we're going to talk through that. Like, we're going to go in depth. I'm going to pull up Goodreads. We're gonna go through like rapid fire, like quickly, so it's not gonna take like hours, but we're gonna like fastly go through all the books that I read, that I own, and then obviously books that I don't own but that I did read. So let me go grab my stack of books, and probably gonna switch positions, but I'll be back in a second. Okay, so I literally have the scene of chaos behind me, but it's all worth it because we get to talk about books. So my bookshelf is actually a mess right now. I'm embarrassed to show what it looks like, but I'm gonna show it anyways because this actually shows that like I've read a lot of the books that I own. So like that's good for me. So sorry if that was loud. That's my bookshelf right now. So that's why it's gonna need to be redone because I just took all these books off of it. But let's get started. We're gonna go rapid fire through this as best as I can so that it doesn't take forever. I have my planner with me just because it's easier than going through Goodreads. Like Goodreads, I can look at my reviews. So actually, let me grab my computer. Goodreads, I can go through my reviews and see what I said about each book, but like for the rapid fire purpose, this is better. So I have stacks of books, so I just put sticky notes on them, and then we're just gonna go through the books that I read for that month, and we're slipping. Okay, so starting off with January, I read 4 books. I read Collide by Bal Cabra. Hopefully I'm saying her last name right. And I annotated it. I finished annotating this like in November. And this was the first book I read. But it's so pretty. I love it. 5 stars. Hockey romance. I don't know what else to say other than I love it. And I'm in love. And everyone should read it. And Spiral is coming out in January. I don't know the exact date, but I will be getting it and I will be reading it. So that was the first book I read in January. Second book I read Check and Mate by Ali Hazelwood. This was my first Ali Hazelwood book. I gave it 4.5 stars. It is a good book. You should probably know a little bit about chess, otherwise you might be confused. Luckily I know chess, so I wasn't confused, but if you don't know chess, you might be a bit confused. And then I finally finished a Good Girl's Guide to Murder series. So I read Good Girl, Bad Blood, and As Good as Dead. I gave Good Girl, Bad Blood 3.5 stars, and I gave As Good as Dead 3 stars. 4 stars, sorry. 4 stars, 3.5. Honestly, this series, like, they were quick reads, I have to say. I was just shocked by what happened in these 2 books. I was literally like, how did that happen? Like, how do these authors think of these things? Like, what does your search history look like? Like, I'm confused. So that was January. Next up is February. So in February, I read 5 books and I listened to a book on audiobook. That was the one and only audiobook I did this year. So I read Catcher in the Rye. That was a school book that I had to read. 2 stars. Did not like it. Hated it. Moving on to the second book I read, which was All Good People Here by Ashley Flowers. That was a book club book. I gave that 4 stars. I really did enjoy that book. Got that from the library. Borrow My Heart by Cassie West. I gave that 4 stars. I do really like Cassie West books. Then The Getaway List by Emma Lord, I gave that 3.75 stars, I think I wrote. Oh my god. This Octobuddy doesn't seem to be working anymore, which is great because it's literally been in use for maybe 30 minutes. So I'm just gonna have to cut out a bunch of stuff. Then I read the one and only physical book that I have, The Do-Over by Lynn Painter. I gave this a 5 stars. I read it around Valentine's Day, and it takes place around Valentine's Day, so that was good. And then The Canadian Boyfriend, I gave 4.5 stars. That was the audiobook. Honestly, I'm not really sure how much of it I actually did comprehend, but what I did comprehend, I liked. So in March, I read 5 books. I read Our Town by Thornton Wilder. That was a school read. I gave that 3 stars. That was honestly my favorite book that we read sophomore year, and I gave it 3 stars. Then I read Better Than the Movies. I gave it 4.5 stars. To be honest with you, I think this book is overhyped. That's kind of my opinion. I thought it was good, but there are like other books by Lynn Painter that like I just like better. I don't know, my personal opinion. Then I read The Hunger Games, 5 stars. It started something and it will never leave. I mean, we all know about The Hunger Games by now. I'm excited for the next one to come out. I understand the whole political, reading is political when you associate it with The Hunger Games, but I'm sorry. I love it. I love Katniss. Like, I would literally just read the book. Like, I would literally read Normal Day in the Life of Katniss. Like, I read for her. Then The Maid by Nita Prose, I gave that 3 stars. That was a book club book. Sorry if I keep going like that. I'm just trying not to have my phone fall. So like every time I hear it start to like ungrip, I'm just like reaching. So hopefully that doesn't get annoying. And then the last book I read was Betting on You. I gave this 3.75 stars. I liked Betting on You better than the Movies. I also liked The Do-Over that I read in February better than Betting on the Movies, or better than the movies. Personally, like I said, I think this book's overhyped. But that was March. So April, I actually own all of the books that I read, which same thing as January, but April I read 6 books. So April was actually a really good reading month. So I read Catching Fire, which I gave 5 stars. I read Mockingjay, which I also gave 5 stars. I read Float, which I gave 5 stars. I read this on vacation in a warm setting, so it was just like the timing was right, and that's all there is to it. Then I read American Gauntlet by Ellie Lewis, which I loved this book. Like, this book was really, really good. Like, I don't watch The Amazing Race. My parents do, but like when I see it on the TV, like this, it's like Amazing Race, and like if you know what Special Forces is, sometimes I'll watch that with my dad. Like, that was this, and it was just like so good. And the main male character is Australian. Like, Australian. I love Australian accents, so like that could just be me, but 5 stars. Highly recommend this book. And she's also like not like this super popular author too, so her books aren't like, you know, as super like well known as other books. So like it was really good, and like it's a long book and it was really good. And then I read Ride or Die by, I can't say this name. That's the name of the author. It's just too long for me to try, and I also think I mispronounced it, so I'm just saving me for mispronouncing it. I give this 3.5 stars. I got it through like the library for free. It was like picked for me. I didn't pick it. I read it. It was good. This is the ARC version of the book, so I don't know if it has all of the updates that the actual published version of the book has, but so 3.5. I don't know what more to say. And then What Happens After Midnight by K.L. Walther, which I gave 5 stars. So literally in April, I gave every single book but one 5 stars. April was just, I was really feeling all of the books that I read. So honestly, I think that's why they were 5 stars. If I went back and reread like some of them, they might not be 5 stars. Obviously, the Hunger Games ones are probably 5 stars. And like American Gauntlet, 5 stars. But like if I went back and read Float or What Happens After Midnight, those might get bumped down to like 4.5, 4. But honestly, April was a really good reading one. Okay, May, I read 4 books. So I read If He Had Been With Me. I give this 5 stars. I have some tabs. If you know this book, you know it's an emotional roller coaster. Yeah, that's all I can say. Then I read The 22 Murders of Madison May by Max Berry. I give that 3.5 stars. That was a book club book. Then Something in Between by Melissa De La Cruz. I give that 2.5 stars. I didn't really like that book, but I powered through because I wanted to read it for the reading goal. Honestly, I would have DNF'd it if I didn't want to have that book checked off. I did own that book, but I donated it because I didn't like it. And then Lord of the Flies, 1.5 stars. That was a school read. Did not enjoy that. That's all there is to it. So that was May. June was a very, very good reading month for me. I read 8 books and I own all but one of them. So I have a large stack of books in my lap right now, but we started the month off strong with A Ballad of Songbird and Snakes. I gave this 4.5 stars. She's hefty. I'm trying to remember. I just said that I liked how you could read this like either before or after you read Hunger Games, because like I didn't think it spoiled anything personally. It was a good book, and I did actually read this very quickly, although I did start it in May and I wanted to finish it in May, but I didn't. I ended up finishing it like June 1st. So, but it was a very quick read. Either that or I was just interested, so I read it fast. Then I read If Only I Had Told Her, because I was like, well, I literally just read the If He Had Been With Me. I need to read this now because it just came out. I gave this 5 stars. I understand what people are saying, how like it wasn't really necessary, and I don't think it was, but did I read it? Did I enjoy it? Yes. Then I read Rulebook by Sarah Adams. Gave this 5 stars. I love Sarah Adams. Yeah. I love Sarah Adams. I think I honestly own all of her like traditionally like published romance books now because I got 3 of them for Christmas. So she's definitely the author that I own the most books of on my shelf. Then I read The Notebook by Nicholas. Oh wait, 5 stars if I didn't say that. I read The Notebook. I've watched the movie. I love the movie, so I was like, let me read the book. It's 200 pages. 5 stars. There were even that many differences from book to movie, which also I did enjoy. Like, I don't like when movies are so vastly different from books, so I'm glad that like it was like the same. Then I read 1,000 Boy Kisses by Tilly Cole and sobbed my eyes out, so 5 stars. Like, honestly, like this book, like I literally had tear stains on my pillow. Like, no joke. Tear stains. I read this though when I got it from the library. I didn't actually own the book when I read it. So I'm going to have to read it again because I'm going to want to go back through and tab things, but I didn't actually physically own the book, so I didn't do that. So now I'm going to have to go through all this pain again. So I need to be like mentally prepared to do that. Then I read Becoming by Michelle Obama. I didn't rate that because it's her autobiography and like I don't want to rate her life. It was an interesting book though. I had to read it for summer reading, so like I chose to read it out of a list of like 40 books, and I did really enjoy it, so that was good. Then I read Maybe Meant to Be by K.L. Walther. I gave this 4.5 stars. It looks very fallish on the front. I'm gonna look in Goodreads. I probably should have read this when I was in school. June, I was like half in school, half out of school, but like the time I was in school was just like finals. So I probably should have read this like in the fall. It does have like fall leaves, so I probably would have enjoyed it more in the fall, but I think the only reason why I gave it 4.5 stars instead of 5 was because I wanted to see more of Nick and Sage's relationship, and we didn't really get that. We focused more on other characters, but I wanted to see that relationship and we didn't. So I think that's what bumped it down for me. And then The Deal by Elle Kennedy, 5 stars. Hockey romance, love hockey romance, never going to ever not love hockey romance, and it's got the blue sprayed edges, so bonus. So that was June. Okay, moving on to July. We're now halfway through. I read 5 books in July. I read Red, White, and Royal Blue. I was like, it's 4th of July, perfect timing to read this. I gave this 4 stars. Then I read It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover, 5 stars. I still haven't seen the movie, but now there's all this controversy with like how it was promoted, and now there's this whole Blake Lively suing Justin Baldoni, I think that's how you say his name. It's this whole thing. I haven't seen the movie, but I have heard the complaints that like scenes were rushed and there was like little to no chemistry, but I really enjoyed the book. So then obviously I read It Starts With Us, which I gave 5 stars. I didn't own this book at the time. I read this from the library. I'm not sure, but I just got this for Christmas. I don't have a complaint. This one is like matte, other than the letters. This one's shiny the whole way through. I don't love that, but also like the page colors are different. That's just like a really nitpicky complaint, but. And then I read Thank You for Arguing by Jay Heinrich. That was a 1 star for me. That was a summer reading book. Every single time I read it, I fell asleep. Like, it will literally be the middle of the day and like I'm wide awake, then I go read it, I'm like nodding off. So I had to read it for AP Lang. Would I choose to read that on my own? No, never. I would not. But I had to read it. And then I read The Reappearance of Rachel Price by Holly Jackson. I gave that 4 stars. So that was July. So August, I read 6 books. And I'm just gonna say, I think that August was my best reading month, even though I only read 6 books, because August gave me The Boys of Tommen. So, I actually, hold on, before we start this, I got a Kavanaugh crew neck for Christmas, and it's so pretty, and it has 13 with a heart on one sleeve, and then the other sleeve, get this, it says for keeps. So you can clearly tell that I love this book because I asked for a sweatshirt. I've never done that before. If you can guess how I rated these books from that, Binding 13, 5 stars. Keeping 13, 5 stars. Saving Sex, 5 stars. Redeeming 6, 5 stars. I also read some more books, but I need to annotate these books like now. 3 pages of sticky notes. That's binding 13. 4 pages of sticky notes is keeping 13. Saving 6, 2 pages, but, you know. I feel like Saving 6 was kind of like a filler book, but, like, also not, because we needed that background and, like, Joey's point of view from all of those things. Like, it might have been a filler book, but I love it. So, it was still 5 stars. Redeeming 6, 3 sticky notes. But Redeeming 6 broke me. Like, I love this series. I love Shannon and... why can't I think of his name? I want to say Joey, but that's not it. Johnny. Oh my god, how do I forget? Probably because I just think of him as Kavanaugh. I love Shannon and Johnny. I love Joey and Aoife. Like, I love them. Like, I love them so much. Like, it's probably not healthy. Like, I love these books. But I'm gonna stop just saying, like, I love them over and over and tell you the other 2 books that I read in August, because I did read 2 more books after. How? I don't know, but I did. I read A Walk to Remember by Nicholas Sparks. I give that 4 stars because I've watched the movie multiple times and I like the movie, so I was like, let me read the book. And then I read The Love Hypothesis by Allie Hazelwood, and I gave that 4.5 stars. So that was my second Allie Hazelwood book. So that was August. Sorry for gushing over Boys of Tallman. September, I read 6 books. I read Lightlark by Alex Astor. I give this 3.5 stars. This is the ARC copy that I read. So I don't know if when it was published, if there were any edits or anything made to it. Honestly, I feel like it might have been a little overhyped. Like, just a little bit overhyped. But it was a good book, and I did enjoy reading it. Then I read Taming 7. I gave this 4.5 stars. I have to admit, I was disappointed with Taming 7. I was disappointed with Claire and Gibbsy's story, because I feel like there was just a bit too much of Lizzie, and I didn't appreciate that at all. Then I read Nightbane by Alex Astor. I gave that 4 stars. I liked Nightbane better than I liked Lightlark. Then I read Love on the Brain by Allie Hazelwood, 4 stars. Love Theoretically by Allie Hazelwood, 4 stars. And I did a reread of The Upside of Falling, and I gave it 4.5 stars. This was one of like my favorite books when I was like younger. I was like, I want to reread it. So that was September. October, October I read 3 books. I wanted to read more, but it just didn't happen. In 2023, October was actually one of my smallest reading months too, so I read The Match by Sarah Adams. I gave this a 4 stars. I read Daydream by Hannah Grace. I gave this 4.5 stars. I really honestly could see myself in Hallie, or Haley, however we pronounce it. I say Hallie, but my best friend says Haley. I could really see myself in her as like the oldest child, so I appreciated that. And then I read The Mistake by Elle Kennedy, and I gave it 4 stars. And it has the sprayed edges, and I love this paint color. Like, it's so pretty. So that was October. So November, I read 6 books, and actually November I think was the month that I got the most books from the library. So I read Night Shift by Annie Crown. I give this 4 stars. I really like this book. The cover is so pretty. It's a basketball, like, library bookworm romance, and I really enjoyed it. So 4 stars for that. Then I read First Lie Wins by Ashley Elston, which I gave 4 stars. That was a book club read. And I've wanted to read that since probably like beginning of year. So I'm glad that we read that. Then I read My Life Next Door by Huntley Fitzpatrick. I gave that 4 stars. I gave What I Thought Was True by Huntley Fitzpatrick 3.5 stars for that one. Those 2 books by her, I put those on my 24 to read in 2024 at the beginning of the year. And then I think like I just changed kind of the books I wanted to read, but I've also wanted to finish like that list, so I just read those for that. I probably would have enjoyed them more if I read them in the summer because they were summary books. I just didn't get to them over the summer, so I read them in November. And then I read 5 Feet Apart by Rachel Lippincott. I gave that 4 stars. I've seen the movie. I think the movie was better. I think I enjoyed the movie better than I enjoyed the book, but I did cry. So, and then I read Sky Shade by Alex Astor, which I gave 4 stars when that came out. So I've liked the second and third books better than I liked the first book in the Light Lark series. I don't know why. There's going to be more books because it ended on a cliffhanger, and I don't think we need more books. Like, I think that could have wrapped it up, but I am going to read the next books that come out because I enjoy reading it for some reason. So I will continue reading the books, but like I think we could be done with 3, but we're not. So December is obviously my best reading month in terms of the most books that I've read, but I think August was my best month because of Boys of Tommen. So that's a personal thought process, but I do actually really enjoy some of these books that I've read. So we started the month off strong with 1,000 Broken Pieces by Tilly Cole, and I gave it 5 stars and I cried and I enjoyed it and I cried. But like I think that like I needed Savannah and Kale's story when I read it. Like I just think I needed it. I don't know how to explain it other than like it felt right when I was reading it to read it, if that makes sense. Then I read Divine Rivals and I gave this 4.5 stars. And then I read Camera Sliding. Then I read Ruthless Vows and I gave it 4 stars. I didn't own these books when I read it, but I got them for Christmas because I liked them so much. So I asked for them for Christmas. I think I might be entering like my fantasy type era because I read these 2 and I really enjoyed it, and I'm reading the Light Lark series and enjoyed it. So I think 2025 I might try to read some more like fantasy, romantasy type books. And then I read That's Not What Happened by Cody Keplinger. I gave that 3.5 stars. That was on my 24 to read in 2024 because in 2023 I read a lot of Cody Keplinger books and I liked them, so I was like, let me read that one because it's on a list of books she's written, and it was vastly different from like the type of book I'm used to from her, which is like romance and stuff, but I enjoyed it. I gave it 3.5 stars, which is a good rating. And then read Offside by Avery Keelan. I gave that 4 stars. Now we're getting into books that I talked about on the reading vlog I posted however long ago that was, but that was like my last video of 2024. So I read that on the Kindle that I now actually have. It's locked right now, but I gave that 4 stars. So like I was saying in that reading vlog, if you didn't watch it, it was over 500 pages, and like going into it I was like, what is in this book that makes it 500 pages? Because this is a hockey romance, like, so I was like, what goes into this book? But it was good. So I was like, oh, I picked it because I thought it would be short, and I was mistaken. But anyways, then I read Never Lie. I almost just whacked myself in the face with that. Never Lie by Frida McFadden. I gave this 4 stars. This was a book club book. I don't actually own this book. Like I do right now, but I need to return it. I got it as a Christmas gift, but ended up like giving something else. So I need to return this book because it's that like I already know what happens, so I'm not gonna reread it. So I need to return it. But since I had it, I was like, well, let me use it. So, you know, so I'm gonna put that in a different pile. Now we're getting into like short story, novella, Christmassy stuff that I read to help me reach my reading goal. So I read My December Darling by Lauren Asher, which I gave 3.5 stars. I really enjoyed it. It was very like wintry, so it wasn't like specific to Christmas. Like there were like slight Christmas things, but like it didn't focus on Christmas. So it felt wintry. So like you could probably read it in January to February, you know, when it's cold. Like doesn't have to obviously be read in December. And then I read Cruel Winter with You by Ellie Hazelwood, which I gave 3.5 stars as well. That was like 70 pages, but like you got backstory. So like it felt like a book, like a full book, but it was a novella. Then I read Marry Ever After by Tessa Bailey. I gave that 2 stars. It was very insta-lovey, but she also wrote it in like 55 pages. So I feel like I can't judge because it's a novella. So next year I probably will read some more Tessa Bailey, but like long form books, you know, like what her normal work. And then I read All by My Elf by Olivia Dade. I've never heard of her before. It was just like these past 3 books I mentioned, they're all part of like a series type thing. So I was just reading through the series. I gave that 2 stars. I didn't like it like at all. Honestly, probably should give it less. Honestly, yeah, it wasn't great. I felt like there was no plot to it. I just didn't enjoy it. And then I'm currently on my Kindle, which I'm going to power on. I'm currently reading, hold on. Okay, well, I'm on chapter 12. I'm currently reading, what the heck is it called? It's an Avery Keelan book, and for some reason, I cannot remember the name of her books. Like, when I was reading Offside, couldn't remember. I was like, was it Offside or Offsides? This one is Shut Out, but I keep thinking it's Shut Off. That makes no sense, but it's a hockey romance. So I am 28% done, and obviously I'm going to finish. My prediction is it'll probably be 4 stars. Probably. That's just my prediction. So that was December. So now we're going to go through the Goodreads, like my year in books thing. I also have a Fable account, which is probably more accurate because you can do half-star ratings, but Goodreads you can't. So this probably isn't 100% accurate. And I'm also going to go through like on my own and do this, and this isn't including that last final book, but I have 24,743 pages read, which is 69 books, so that'll go up probably to like 25,000 pages once I add the final book in. My shortest book was All by My Elf, which was 55 pages, and my longest book was Redeeming 6, which was 766 pages. But honestly, I think it was less. I think it was like 600 or something. I don't think it was 700. That could just be like the format or whatever, but that makes sense that it was my longest book because it's definitely like the thickest book on there. My average book length was 358 pages. My most shelf book was The Hunger Games, which makes sense. My least shelf book was American Gauntlet, which was what I told you guys. It's not a popular book, so that makes sense. You can hear my dad. I don't know if you can. My average rating, yeah, you can totally hear him. So my average rating for 2024 was 4.2 stars according to Goodreads. Fable might say differently, but I feel like that's very accurate considering I rated a lot of books like 5 or 4 stars, and like I didn't really have that many like low rated books. I don't know why it went like that. And then my highest rated book on Goodreads, Redeeming 6. It's rated 4.64, so clearly you can tell people love Boys of Tommen, and then it just goes on to tell me what my first review of the year was, all of the other books, and then my last review of the year. But So this is the aftermath of making that portion of the video, but I counted. So 39 these stacks of books. That is 39 books. So hold on, let me flip the camera. So that means that I own 39 out of 70 of the books that I read this year, which is more than 50%. But at the time that I was reading, I didn't own, hold on, let me count, I'll be back. But I think at the time that I was reading all the books, I didn't own 4 of them. I thought it was more, but I think it was 4. I think. I don't know. But 35 out of 70, which is halfway. So I owned 50% when I was reading them, and then I asked for them for Christmas, so that's why I got bumped up. But like, I don't know how many books I own. When I go through and organize my bookshelf, which I now need to do because it is a mess, I'll count how many books I own. But like, honestly, I read a lot of the books that I own, and a lot of the books that I do own, like, I've rated these books highly. Like, I'm going to probably reread them again. I'm going to annotate them. I'm going to like make them like my own, and so it's justified. So I'm not sure if the next portion of the video is going to be me reorganizing this mess, or if it's going to be like the bullet journal, or if it's going to be stuff. Honestly, even if I do like film the stuff for 2025, when I edit, I'm going to put it 2024 then the 2025 stuff. But that's what's happening right now. So I will see you next time I pick up the camera, whenever that may be. But yeah, that was the recap of all the books that I've read this year. So that's a lot of books. So I'm proud of myself for that. So it's now New Year's Eve, and so I haven't done anything really since last time I talked to you. But staying on the topic of books, I just took out like all of the books that I did read that I own this year, plus an extra, I think 39 plus 31, 47, plus an extra, I think 31 books. And I set up this whole little thing right here. So this is like a visual representation of 70 books, which is, oh my god, I can't see the amount of books I have read this year. So I just started down here. This is December, and it goes all the way up. That's October, September, all the way up. I only got to the middle of June before I had to put the rest here, but then June all the way up to March, and then February to January up here. But can I put my phone? I'm afraid that they're going to fall over. I already took the pictures that I needed to take with them. So now we're going to look at the state that my bookshelf is in, which I don't know if you were able to see when I started this. No, you weren't. Because now it's time to organize my bookshelf, because there's no books on it really, and it's a mess, and we need to organize it. And since I have all the books here, I figured why not do it right now. So we're going to organize my bookshelf. I'm just going to like put you on a time lapse, and then we'll do a bookshelf tour after everything is put back. But let's go look at what it looks like right now, and then we'll go from there.
Gotta hit that subscribe button.
Okay, so step one is going to be to take all of the books from my floor, and I'm just putting them on my bed. This lighting is actually, it's annoying me. Just while I'm talking, I'm just gonna close. Okay. But yeah, step one, I'm going to take all the books from the floor and just put them on my bed so I can just kind of visualize like what books I want to be like on like this main shelf right here, because like this is the one that's kind of like, it's not at eye level, like this shelf's at eye level, but this shelf is just like pretty books. At least that's what it was, so it's probably gonna stay that way. So yeah, I'm gonna move everything onto the bed and then put them back on, and I'm gonna do that on time lapse. So let's get to it. Also, I'm gonna put like Taylor Swift, Gracie Abrams on too, because they're iconic and we're going to listen to them. Okay, so the lighting's horrible because it's dark out now, which is sad because it's not even 5 o'clock, but I didn't change anything on the top shelf. This is what my middle shelf looks like. So this is the same, but I added the new books. So these are all of the books that I need to read. There's 9 of them, which isn't bad. And I kind of put it in like, not like rainbow, but like ombre-ish. I don't know how to explain that. And then all my annotating supplies. My friend made this for me. He's crying. But that's like the middle shelf. And then this is like my main shelf. I left space so it looks silly right now, but once I read some of these books, they're gonna end up down here. So it's gonna be fine. So this is like the main like favorites shelf. Kindle. And then this shelf is completely filled now, so I just have like some romances, and then it goes into Hunger Games and like fantasy, dystopian, true crime, not true crime, it's A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, like sad stories. I don't know, it's a whole mood. And then those are just like school type book things. And then the penguin is a heating pad, but it's just gonna sit on my bookshelf because it's cute. And then those are just all other things, but I think it looks pretty cute. I'm excited to fill it, like that shelf completely, once I read all of those books. But those 3 shelves, the top 3, are like, they make me so happy. So, but it also, I'm stepping like way back. I love, oh, that just made it so blurry. I love how like full it's looking now. I think I counted, and I think I own on like those 4 shelves, I think that's 85 books. Okay, so now that my bookshelf is taken care of, I'm going to go through, and I'm in Canva going to add in all of the book titles of the books that I had like turned backwards because I don't own them, just so I have that for myself, because I did it last year and I just like seeing it, so I'm doing that again. And then I'm going to do vision board, bullet journal, some goals. I have to set up my planner. So this is my 2024 planner. I love it. It's gotten like so like thick from just like me writing in it, and I've added, there's like some like things that I've stapled in and stuff. So, and also one thing I love about this planner is at the beginning of each month I could write like goals and like books that I've read, and then I'd write how many hours I worked. My new planner, so I got that one on Amazon. I could not find the same one, so this is from Target. It's very cute and it matches like the whole like vibe. Like I have this like green color. My water bottle is not up here anymore, but like the whole green. The only thing that kind of stinks about it is it just goes like, so that's like December, and then it just goes directly into January. But it does have the days, so I can write. I don't know if you can see that well, but I can write like my day and stuff, which was really what I wanted. But I am sad it doesn't have like that page, because I liked writing like my goals and stuff. But the good thing is I can write here on the side, there's lines, so I can write like my goals or books read. Probably books read, because I like having it written down at the beginning of each month, like how many books I read. Like that's actually helped me so much to just like see, and like goals I can put somewhere else. I don't need to have goals set every month, but it was nice to have that. So I did really like, I love that planner, and I wish I could have found it again, but I couldn't. But I do like this one. Like I love the coloring of it, so I'm gonna do that thing in Canva. And I also need to compile pictures for like my 2024 Instagram post wrap up, because everyone's posting theirs, and obviously I need to join in. But I literally have so many pictures, and I don't know like what ones I want to post. But I think I need to make a to-do list, but it's 4:53 right now, so there's less than 5 to 6, 6 to 7, 7 to 8, 8 to 9, 9 to 10, 10 to 11, 11 to 12, 7, just about 7 hours left in 2024, which is crazy. Change of plans. I actually have to finish my book. I forgot that oh my god, I forgot that I actually never finished it last night when I was reading. I'm 94% done though, so I have like about 20 pages and then I am finished. But that would have been bad if I forgot to finish it, because then I actually would not have met my goal. In the whole like video I've been like, oh yeah, I finished this book. So I'm gonna do that now. That takes top priority for sure. So I've washed my face and my skin looks awful, so you're going to have to deal with a grainy video quality, because we're not looking great and this just dulls it a little bit. But anyways, it's like 11:30, so 30 minutes till New Year's, 30 minutes till 2025. I'm about to go down and get my grapes so that I have them ready. And then basically I finished my book, 4.5 stars, so my rating was accurate. I've finished filling out like all of my days in my planner for 2024, so that's all complete. I've gone through and done like all of my reading stats for 2024. That took a while. I posted my like 2024 wrap up on like my personal like Instagram account. Like that's private. That's the only one I have, so I'm not sure why I like was specific about that, but that took a while. Yeah, so now just need to like finish up my vision board. I also want to do like the 2024 like vision board versus reality, because I think it's kind of like stuff happened for the most part, I think. So that's the update. And then I'm just gonna work on some 2025 stuff briefly, but a lot of it will probably carry into tomorrow. So that's the update for tonight. Probably the next time I talk to you guys is going to be 2025, so excited for that. everybody. It's January 1st. I just painted my nails this green color. I don't know how well you can see it, but I saw a picture on Pinterest and I was like, I need to go out and buy that nail color because I need to paint my nails that color because I love it. So I did that and I love it. But before I painted my nails, I was doing some bullet journaling, and so I did not do much bullet journaling at all. So I just have like my first page, and then I have just 2024, and then I have like my days read. So I filled it out, and I'm obsessed with how this looks. I think it looks so cute. So I read 261 days and I didn't read 105 days, which I think that's really good. I think my best reading months were December and September. Both of those months I only didn't read 3 days, so I read all of the rest. But every single day that there was 31 days in a month, I read on the 31st. So I think that's cool because that's the only like day that happened out of like everything. It almost happened on the 5th, but in May I didn't read on the 5th. Yeah, so I think this looks so cute and like it's so pretty and I love it. And then what I was just working on, because I had already made this, but what I was just working on was I had done like a pencil outline a little bit, but like not entirely, like not that much. So I was just working on that last night and then again today, but I made this bookshelf, not on this page. I thought I was gonna need 2 pages for it, but I only read 70 books, so it all fit on one. So over here, I think I might put like something else to do with reading, probably, just to like, just to keep it. But so I have a bookshelf. There's 70 books on here, and each month has a specific color. And then I just colored however many books of that color that I read in each month. So like January's purple, I read 4 books in January, so there's 4 books on here, 1, 2, 3, 4 that are purple. So I'm not sure what else I'm gonna put like on this page. I might do like my favorite book of each month or something. I'm not sure yet. But then on this next page, I'm going to put this. It says congrats on your PR, because I got PR socks from Brooks through athletic.net. If you're a high school runner, you might know what this is. So I kept this because it came with it. I'm gonna tape that in. And then also when we went to All States, we got this, it's kind of like a luggage tag type thing, but it's like the 2024 cross country state championship. So I'm just gonna tape these 2 on one page, and then on the other page I'm gonna write like all of my like PRs, how many miles I ran, maybe how many miles I biked too, just so like I can see, because that'll be fun. And then on the next page I also just have some stuff from homecoming that I just want to put in. I have like the ticket, and then I have a photo strip, so that's gonna go on another page. But I think that's all I want to do for 2024. So it's not even gonna be that many pages. It's literally gonna be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like less than 10 pages, but that's all that I'm gonna do for 2024. And then I'm going to set stuff up for 2025, because I really do want to like actually bullet journal. But so I'm gonna do that. But before I do that, I'm like looking at my list of things to do, and I do have homework to do, but I'm going to do that later tonight. I think I'm going to do my vision board for 2025 first, just to give my nails more time before I start writing, because like when I hold my pen or pencil or whatever, I kind of like tuck my nails under, and I don't want them to like get like that indent thing. I don't know if that makes sense. So I'm just going to do my vision board and then we'll get back into it. But just wanted to give a little update, so I will talk to you guys again soon. This is my vision board. So reading. That's a big part of it. Journaling, bullet journaling, stuff like that. Like running and like exercising, just like feeling good, which I will get more into, like, that too. I'll get more into that later. And then travel, so I'm going to Greece the middle of this year, so like that's what that is. I want to go on like hikes and stuff, so that's that picture. And then just like motivation, and then 2025 right here. So I'm going to save this and then set this as my computer background, because it's just a good reminder to have. So let me show you what my 2024 one was. So this was my 2024 vision board. So biking, which I'm still planning on biking in 2025 as well. I just didn't put any pictures of that. Reading was like a big part of it, schoolwork, exercise, movement, driving, which is still a big part, but not as much. So I do think I like this year's better, so let me change it. Alright, it's now set as my home screen on my computer. So this is the goals for this year. I love it. I think it's so pretty, and I think it's so cute. So yeah, I'm happy. I'm really happy with how this turned out. Okay, so I just did my vision board stuff on my computer, and then I put it into like widgets. So I took some of the pictures from the vision board and put them into widgets, and I just kind of redid my home screen a little bit. Made like the calendar widget, and I also changed the color of like my lock screen from like a gray to like a deep green, which I've been loving lately, if you can't tell. I've just been loving like the like grays and the deep greens and stuff. I think they're so pretty. But now I'm going to fill out my planner for 2025. So this has been a constant in the video, but this is my 2024 planner. This is 2025. Gonna take like birthdays and all that stuff and put it from here into here, and also meets and stuff that I have. I'm just gonna pop those into here right now. So we're gonna do that now. It shouldn't take too long. I don't really think I have that much to put in. So yeah, we're gonna do that, and then we'll see what happens next. Alright, so it's 9:40 right now. This is what my to-do list that I made last night is looking like. It's looking really good. The only things that I have left to do on here are my finish my 2024 bullet journal, start the 2025 bullet journal, write down my 2025 goals, and just pack my bag for school tomorrow. That's literally all I have to do left. which is really good. And then this video I think is gonna be very long, and I'm going to try to have it edited to post on Saturday. It's Wednesday right now, so that doesn't give me a ton of time to turn it around at all, but we're gonna see if we can do it. If not, then I'll try for another day. I don't know, I don't really care. But I've made the 2024 vision board versus reality. I posted that. I set my Goodreads goal for the new year. Set it at 80 books again. I only got to 70 this year. It was originally 80 and then I moved it down. We're going for 80 again. I haven't read anything yet today. Probably won't really read anything. I might start something like before I go to bed, but we're going for 80. Fingers crossed I can get to 80 and I don't have to bump it down. But we'll see what happens. So I think right now I'm just going to work on my 2025 goals, just because I do want to get those written down like at the start of the year. And then once I do that, I'm gonna switch over to bullet journal. So we're gonna do that and probably watch some YouTube. There's no videos for me to watch because it's like the end of the year, so like, well, it was the end of the year, so no one's really posting, and now there's like nothing for me to watch because I'm all caught up, which kind of stinks. But I don't know, I'm gonna find a video to watch and write down my goals. Yeah, I'll keep you updated though.